Okay, we've got the access control in a box system here, and you guys see that you have an electronic strike, 12 and 24 volts. You've got the different wiring connections to wire that in many different applications. You also have that reader here, the B300, and that's going to be the device that communicates with your cell phone and takes a RFID card and enters the keypad as well. Then it's going to have wiring harnesses, all these different wiring harnesses that are going to plug into the back of that keypad and then be direct plug and play for your access control system. This is going to be your Wi-Fi hub that plugs into a conventional outlet, and that communicates via Wi-Fi. Here you've got the electronic strike, and it has a door position sensor. And this kit has absolutely everything you need for full access control.
So we're going to be installing the INOX system on this door here. The first thing that we need to do is make sure that we have a healthy opening on this door. And then because we want to focus people on the access control, we're going to go ahead and delete the deadbolt up above, and we're going to put a storeroom function locked out here, meaning it's going to be locked all the time. It will have a mechanical key override, but it's going to force people to use the actual access control integration on that. So in order to do that, we're going to put a cover plate on this. We're going to cover the deadbolt hole, and then we're going to pull this plate off here, mount our electronic strike here, run our wires inside where we have a little bit of power right down here. So we just need to get our wire and our plug-in down there, and the system is basically plug and play after that.
For the rest of this installation, we're going to start by pulling off all of the protective equipment for this door wrap that is intentionally going to cover and delete the deadbolt up above. I'm going to show you a few tricks. Even though it already has the hole cut into it, I find that no matter what, every time I don't do this trick and put the jig on there and actually run my bit through and clean out those little few holes that are actually there, I find that it fights me the whole entire time. So it's going to save you time in the long run. This is another super great time-saving technique where you actually close the door and utilize an airbag to force the plate over as far as it can possibly go and then screw it into place. This again is going to save you a tremendous amount of time and effort because it's going to force the plate over as far as it can possibly go. Now, after we get everything drilled in place and we have these wood shavings everywhere, we want to go ahead and vacuum everything up and stay nice and clean along the way. Now that we put the jig on and we actually recut everything together, because the door has a slightly different mounting than the door wrap itself. So that little fraction of an inch, major complications can be avoided simply by taking and doing that one little step by mounting that jig and running your carbide 2 1/8 inch hole saw through on the bore side and 1 inch hole saw through in the side where the latch is designed to be mounted. That means this installation of the storeroom function lever went absolutely flawless.
So we are getting to where we're hitting just a little tiny bit right there. Okay, let's see that right there. So we're gonna put our airbag in, push it up. It's gonna throw all the weight over here.
Yet another one of those great tips, using the airbag to throw the weight towards the hinge side of the door and then use a hinge adjustment tool.
Shift all the weight back that way. And voila, no more hitting here. Now our gap is gone there and is back over here. Sweet.
Now we're going to begin cutting the strike into the metal frame. This is a hollow metal frame, only this one's not actually hollow. It's filled with mortar, which is going to complicate this quite a bit, but it's still plausible and capable. First thing that I like to do is add some painter's tape to help protect the existing portion around the frame. I'm going to be using this larger 18-volt grinder, and you'll notice that I cut just a little bit off of the top and the bottom before I do my plunge cut. Whenever you're installing these strikes, they're going to be so tight that taking that little tiny bit of material off of the top and the bottom is really going to help you in the long run. So we start off there. Now we're going to be utilizing the Dremel tool, a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. This is the cordless 12-volt Milwaukee tool that is going to be able to cut that out and be able to cut the dust box. You can see the sparks from the inside, and then you'll need multiple cutoff wheels. It usually takes 2 or 3 of them to cut the dust box out entirely, and make sure that it's completely scored all the way around, and then you will be able to remove the dust box. Now you can see in this particular application I've actually got to use a different type of bit to cut another portion of that dust box out so that it can actually be removed, and then we're cutting another little chunk of drywall out of the way as well, and we should be able to fit that latch in now. We'll continue taking the last little portions out, cut a little bit, and then dry fit or test fit our electronic strike in the hole and see how much more we have to cut out. Looks like we've got just another little sliver to cut out of the backside there. Cut that off with our little cutoff wheel, and I believe it should fit now. Now we've got a big enough hole that's deep enough. Obviously you want to take small portions out at a time rather than taking large portions out to make sure that you don't overcut. Now Josh is going to be measuring for the keypad, as we need to know where that hole is going to be so we can get our center line, so we can start running the wire in there. So we have to have our mounting accurate. It needs to be mounted. We like to mount just like we do with hardware, where it's between that 36 and 48 inch mark, so that it's nice and easy and convenient for anybody of any height. Even if somebody's in a wheelchair, they can still access it. Now we're drilling an access hole for the power wire from the backside as well, and making sure that everything is nice and level. And I'm choosing a location for the DPS, or the door position sensor, using a metal drill bit to drill the metal, and then we're going to get a concrete bit to drill the concrete portion out. I have a 3/4 inch drill bit drilling into the wood side. This is a pretty large bit. It might be a little hard to find, but that's what it's going to require. And then a little tip is to add caulking in before you put the door position sensor on the door side in. It'll just help keep it in there long term, so it doesn't rattle or shake out later.
Okay, it's good.
Utilizing our fish tape, we're going to start actually running the wire from the strike plate hole. Going to mount the keypad as well, and you can see that fish tape sticking out of there. We'll tie our wire off to it with some electrical tape, pull it through the large portion, and bring it out through the power hole that we're trying to reach on the back side. We'll get some surface mount wire cover for that at the end, but for right now we're going to run the main power cable all the way through, and then now we're running the DPS, or the door position sensor. A little bit harder to get this angle, so it might take a couple bends to get it in there, but you can see these long hemostats definitely help along the way. Pretty necessary. We have a smaller wire, and we also need it to run it in the exact opposite direction. So that's why we're going to tie this little bit of string on there to run the wire and pull the door position sensor wires back out the other way. Now we've got the door position sensor wired in, and we're putting those wires in the back. A few taps, gentle taps with a mallet will fit that into place nicely. That is a 3/8 inch hole to fit that in. Now we're bringing the larger wiring harness that is designed to plug into the back of the keypad and the reader through the front. Again, those large hemostats are really going to help when running your wire in these small locations like this. You really want to keep your wire runs in mind and where you need to come through when you're actually selecting
We
mounting.
got a wiring harness pulled through here. It's ran right to there, and now we're going to connect into the head. Beautiful. Okay. Does one say strike?
There's Wigan, Deadbolt monitor, power, request to exit.
Then there might be an Allen key or that Torx at the bottom. Do you need that tool? Okay, so plugging that in.
That bit.
Yeah. Okay, so we're plugged in here, plugged in here. That means the keypad now comes live. All right, so click, clickety, clickety. That's good. So what are we hooked into here? 24 volt, and then what's our next connection?
Latch bolt monitor.
Latch bolt monitor is plugged in, and what's our other one?
We got all kinds of them here.
What is that one?
That's normally closed. There's power.
Okay. All the way out.
Now we're delicately going to push all of the wires and connections that we've made inside the frame, which is, it's essential to have plenty of room inside that hollow metal frame to be able to push all of that wiring back in there. It can be a tight fit.
Sure. For right now. That's one of the three that come off that power.
Yeah.
But we only use 2.
Making sure you're very careful not to cut any wires. If there's any sharp edges, you want to make sure that nothing gets nicked or damaged as you're shoving all of this back into there. And making sure that the wires don't get pinched against the strike and the frame as you're installing the last portion of the strike into the strike hole.
Bingo.
Bolt was off just a little bit.
Good. Give me a sweet. Try the door.
Also going to be testing to make sure that the dead latch for this lock is engaged, and that's what we're testing for right there.
Bingo. Sweet. With the key.
After you have the app connected to your phone and you connect to the device, make sure that that is working as well. Green will indicate that it is open, and red will indicate that it is locked. Then we'll be able to test that with the app and with the door shut, along with the keypad and the key to make sure everything is functioning correctly. Then you can actually transfer ownership. It's designed to transfer to the owner. And right now we're going to enroll an RFID card. It's as simple as pulling the app up when it's connected and adding the RFID tag, and then presenting the tab. As you push the add button, you'll get a green light, and then it will show you that you have a green on the keypad, and it will unlock the lock as well. Now is the final fit and finish. It's not how you start, it's how you leave. We want to make sure we vacuum, clean everything up, wipe the door down, including the stainless steel wrap, the door that is white, and get all the fingerprints and get all of the smudges and everything off of the door, the frame, and all of the entire work area. You might have just a little bit of caulking touch-up. We can't actually put a scar plate on this electronic strike simply because of the way that it's designed and built into the wall. However, a little dab of caulking here and there will cause all those cracks to fill up nicely.
All right, we have now installed the access control in a box from INOX, and we have the reader and the keypad here. We have a storeroom lever, meaning it's always locked with a mechanical key override that works just like that. And then when we go ahead and lock the door, we also put this nice door wrap on to cover up that deadbolt. We want to focus the access control on the access control and not the deadbolt, so we deleted that from the equation. Now we're just set up with the keypad here. Once you wake it up and it becomes blue, then you can do your code. We've got a temporary code. Green means open. So that's one way we can enter. The other way we can enter is with one of the fobs that we've already programmed in. Green light and enter. If you come in on this side, you can see again, everything's nice and put together. We have the door position sensor on the door side mounted in here. A little bit of caulking is going to help keep that in place. Then we have the door position sensor put in on the frame side over here. We also have the frame cut out for the electronic strike here. Was a little close. Got to make sure you have enough room for that sucker to open up, but luckily we did. So it's not going to get into any of the wall there. Then as you come all the way inside, we've got our wires ran nice and clean into some surface mount, and it's designed to plug directly into the wall. There.
Welcome to INOX Access Control in a box, your all-in-one security solution. It includes keypads, our mobile app, and readers for versatile access. Simple, reliable, and ready to secure your business.